Want to improve your negotiation skills? Well, firstly, think about a negotiation. It's actually about the other party, so think about them. Think from their perspective. Before you walk into a negotiation, consider what your best alternative to a negotiated agreement is. You'll see this as an acronym BATNA. Consider the other party. What do they actually value? And perhaps it may be they think something like delivery speed is important to them, or contract duration, and that can allow you to add value to this negotiation. Also, just as you've worked out your own BATNA, try and double guess what their BATNA is. Because if there's other options aren't great, you potentially have more power in the negotiation, and it'll help you frame your offers accordingly. When you're thinking about a negotiation, set your goals ambitiously. These should not be your bottom line. So go in with a high opening offer, or offers, I'll come to that later. Most parties want to show that they've actually successfully negotiated a price down. So consider this, and if you're offering a service, perhaps you offer it at a price, and then when they come back and say, can you do it at a lower price? You could say, yeah, I could give you a concession if perhaps you pay up front. And that's a good way of effectively lowering your price, providing a counter offer, and actually appearing like you're reasonable in this negotiation. So if they can pay up front or potentially even commit to a longer duration, that would be a thing you could consider. Because in negotiation, there's really three levels. There's interests, rights, and power. And rights are who said what, who's technically correct. Power really comes down to threats, who's going to threaten the other side. And really, we don't want those two things in. Ideally, we want to focus on interests, in particularly the other party's interest. Because if you can shift to their actual interest, it will move things forward productively, and potentially it'll help you in the future work together and have many more deals. So an example would be if you're thinking of buying a car. Your objective may be to get it cheaper, but if you can think of the car seller's needs, perhaps they need to sell more in a particular quarter or a particular week, and you can frame it as if you're helping them offloading their stock from the car market where they have to actually pay to store it. The other thing we think about in negotiations is trying to put the other party to take action. Now, if you want to push the other side, you may think about highlighting loss. Now, this means that the other party is more likely to actually take action. However, if you want to highlight something and talk about gain, this is more likely to mean the other party will just keep with the status quo. So a compelling message may actually use a threat of potential loss so that the other party takes action. But be cautious. If you have too much of a threat of loss, then it can induce fear, and that often leads to inaction. Because it's a bit like the psychology of economics. Gains are often not felt as much as a loss. So you'd often find that if you win £10, that may actually only feel, that would offset losing £5, which you feel double. We tend to feel losses double, but that's just the way we are. Now, ideally, when you are going into a negotiation, a key point is to consider actually providing the opening offer. And it wouldn't just be one offer, it would be multiple offers. And these, which would often be called mezzos, multiple simultaneous offers, will be given at the start of the negotiation by you. Now, it's important to give that offer because it gives an anchoring point. And rather than just having an offer that's just dismissed and said, right, that's ridiculous, if you give multiple offers, it makes you potentially seem more reasonable but also deduce what the other side values, because you can consider how does that other party react to these multiple offers, and then you can think, well, they liked option 3 better, therefore potentially what they want is speedy delivery. But to effectively do this, what you'll need to do is give your offers in person, or at least if not in person, via video calls, because that's when you can effectively gauge what they're interested in. So the saying is, say it, don't send it. So you may think you're saving time sending an email with offers, but you're not, because you're missing out on all these cues. And the other great thing about a mezzo, by sending multiple offers to them, it may be that you will receive multiple offers back. And that will allow you both to find that added value and close a good deal. Ideally, when you're talking about closing, you don't want to close each issue individually. And by that, you want to establish, okay, so you're keen for this to occur quickly, or you want deliveries on a Sunday, or you want me to give these lessons in a different language. Then you can say, okay, with this particular thing, rather than me just say, yeah, we can easily do that, say, well, we'll consider that. And then when you get to bundling it all together, you're not just negotiating about price, because if you've agreed on something, then in essence, that's out of the negotiation from that point. So if you can find out what they value and bundle it all together, that will actually allow for a good offer. And it also allows you to appear flexible, because then you can concede on a few things when they're bundled together, rather than just saying, yeah, I'm not at all interested in that offer, you could pay me now or you could pay me in a month. Whereas if that's the case, you have it all bundled together, you can concede that, appear flexible as if you're giving them things. So I'm hopeful that helps you with your negotiations. I'll leave you with the 5 F's. This is the main summary. First offer, focus on them. Frame your offer. And remember, lost words move them off the status quo, whereas gain words keep the status quo. Flexible, so leave room to concede and provide multiple simultaneous offers. And fifthly, no feeble offers. And by that, I mean we need specific offers, not just vague things. So there you go. Finally, remember, you need to know what your ambitious goal is, and that is not your bottom line. Hope you've enjoyed that. Feel free to check out my other videos. I'll see you next time.